to the next frontier, sorry about that. Superstition on the use of fertilizer by farmers in most parts of eastern Kenya have seen them produce little or no harvest at the end of the season. But now this trend is being reversed by training offered to these same farmers by an NGO, the Anglican Development Services Eastern, that is providing on-farm trainings, and now a few farmers have opted to use the fertilizer and they are recording bumper harvests. Here's more on this week's Next Frontier with Philip Keitani.
As the raging drought ravages many parts of the country, farmers in Makueni County have turned to drought-resistant crops, giving them enough yields for domestic consumption and sale. However, some of these farmers are still struggling to produce enough due to the poor quality of their soils, with most of them holding to the thought that the use of fertilizer is actually bad for their soils.
Kuna watu wanakuamilia kwamba mbolea inaharibu udongo. Kuna haribu mchanga, rotuba na mambo mengine. Lakini kupitia elimu ya hawa tumekuja kupata kwamba mbolea haina shida. Sasa watu wengine tumebadilika, tumeanza kutumia hiyo mbolea. Na wale tumetumia mbolea tumepata mazao mengi kushinda wale hawakutumia mbolea.
Meet Martin and Elizabeth Muthini, both farmers and parents of 7 children who rely solely on their farm to provide for their family. But for years, they have worked their farm exhausting the soils with little application of the fertilizer, and production was very low.
Tulipopata mafunzo, tulielewa ya kwamba mchanga wetu umekuwa hafifu kabisa. Haukuweza kutoa mimea iliyo na nguvu, na tulipoanza kutumia mbolea, inakuza mimea yetu inakuwa haraka na inapata kutoa mazao kabla mvua iende.
Tumefunzwa pia combine manure hiyo ina improve texture ya mchanga na inaweka hewa ndani ya mchanga. Hii fertilizer nayo ni chakula, inalisha mmea tu. Lakini organic manure ina improve soil texture. Inakuwa well aerated, inakuwa na ina retain water retention capacity inaenda juu.
But with the help and training by the Anglican Development Services Eastern, these farmers have been taught on how important the use of fertilizer is to their soils, and production has been on the rise.
Train farmers on how to use fertilizer, how to use organic manure, and how to construct water harvesting technologies or structures in the farm, that is terraces. And all those practices, when put together, they will help farmers to realize high yield production in their farms.
Anglican Development Services Eastern works in partnership with county governments and research institutions to support these farmers with subsidized fertilizer and certified seed. Some of the farmers have sold over 50 bags of pulses and have changed their lives, while others are increasing the area under production.
And we have been teaching them on-farm trials to use organic and inorganic fertilizer in their farms so that they can get a high yield out from their farms, so that they have food security at home and also to reach market by selling.
Application of fertilizer offers a balanced nutrient supply, giving primary, secondary and micronutrients, which is critical for high yields and quality crops.
Mwanzo watu walikuwa wanasema ukitumia fertilizer kama enyewe shamba itaharibika. Na enyewe ukitumia, wengine hata tumefundishwa tukaulizwa, enyewe tulikuwa hatutumii na mashamba enyewe haitoi kitu. Sasa kuna faida gani kama hatutumii na hakuna kitu? Tukatofautisha, tukiweka na tukikosa kuweka. Tukiweka fertilizer tukilima nayo mafuno yatakuwa inakuwa mengi. Tukiwacha tunarudia mahali kwetu tulikuwa.
According to Abanas Mutua, the program officer Anglican Development Services Eastern, the use of fertilizer increases productivity and farmers' incomes, making it an integral part of the blueprint to achieving food security. Having the right fertilizer for the right crop that supplies the right nutrients to the soil is critical for optimum yields.
In this project, we've been focusing on increasing soil fertility, and the farmers have realized that when they combine both organic manure and inorganic manure, there is a lot of change, especially when it comes to their yields.
While increasing productivity is an important strategy for boosting incomes for smallholder farmers, it's not the only solution. Beyond achieving record yields, farmers also need assurance that their produce is not lost to spoilage or pest before being sold at market.
Because these farmers have to continue using the technologies we have promoted, the market is very important so that the farmers can continue producing more and more. And the income they get, they're able to plow back to their farms. They're able to start other projects like poultry farming, also dairy farming, so that they can support their families even when there is no rain.
But even as the Anglican Development Services program comes to an end in Eastern, the organization insists that a successful farmer always tests his soil to determine which fertilizer to use. For most farmers from Kathonzweni, Makueni County, the use of fertilizer in their farms was a taboo. But for a few farmers who have been enlightened on the benefits of using fertilizer, they can now attest that their crop yield has increased significantly and they are now food secure. Philip Keitany for the Next Frontier.
Many thanks, Keitany, for that.